Well, it's been 4 months since slain NYPD Detective Jonathan Diller's widow delivered this powerful message after he was allegedly killed by a career criminal.
My son will grow up without his father. I will grow old without my husband, and his parents have to say goodbye to their child. How many more police officers and how many more families need to make the ultimate sacrifice before we start protecting them?
None of us can forget that moment and that eulogy. Stephanie Diller now doubling down, telling the New York Post, quote, "I still stand by that. And I spoke that because I felt like that's what Jonathan would say if he was here. These career criminals shouldn't be out on the street. And the way that laws are set up right now, while I understand the reason some of them are in place, they embolden criminals because there are no consequences." Fox News contributor Gianno Caldwell is here to react. Gianno, it's painful to watch that, but what I love is that she's not stopped talking. She's not going to let us forget not just about her husband, but also why it happened. Yeah. That there is a specific reason. Somebody is funding liberal DAs who are letting these people go.
That's exactly right. George Soros is that individual in what you mentioned who spent millions of dollars funding over 75 progressive prosecutors, soft on crime prosecutors, and it's many people like her because I spoke with the FOP this week, leadership at the FOP, and there's almost 400 police officers that were shot last year. This is unacceptable in every way. What we're seeing in our country, lawlessness has been funded because of George Soros. And that's exactly why I came up with the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety, because enough is enough.
So what is the mission of the Caldwell Institute of Public Safety?
Well, as you know, June 24th, 2022, my baby brother Christian was murdered on the south side of Chicago. The mission is to go directly head on against these prosecutors, these progressive prosecutors, via messaging and also lobbying. We want to bring in legislation that ensures that communities are safer, and we want to go against legislation that makes communities more lawless and endangers us. I also have support services with the help of people like Dr. Drew Pinsky and many others on how to process trauma when these things happen. You can go to the website caldwellinstitute.org. We got a tab there on how you can pitch a story to the press. If something happens to your family, how you can get that kind of attention. I also have a manual, how to work with prosecutors and police, written by Joel Fitzgerald, who's a current police chief, and Dan Kirk, who's a former prosecutor. This is something that we need desperately in our country. And this isn't about my family anymore. It's not about my brother anymore. It's about the thousands of people who are slaughtered every year. I cannot sit back and allow this to continue on. So this has become a mission that God has put on my shoulders. Go to caldwellinstitute.org.
I'm sorry that this happened. This institute happened because of your brother's death. But this has been long waited. I mean, I can't believe that nothing like this had been started before you started this. Now, we mentioned George Soros. You're up against George Soros. Financially, how do you, you're going to bankrupt two countries like he did? How are you going to go up against that level of funding?
Well, only God is with me. I'll tell you that. I'll be very clear. I don't know how, but I know that he gave me this mission, and I'm just going to follow in the steps in which he's directing and guiding me. God will have the people pour in the money.
Believe that.
He has somebody under the sound of my voice right now. They say, we're going to cut him a check. We're going to help. We're going to do whatever they can do. But I know for a fact that God gave me this mission. It's unfortunate, as you mentioned, how it started. But this is much bigger than me. It's about our entire country and what has become a lawless society. So I simply put, have no choice, Rachel.
Yeah.
No choice.
Well, God bless you. God bless this mission. I believe that God did put this mission on your heart, and I do believe, and I love our viewers. And I know someone's watching, many people are watching, who agree with you and say it's about time we do something and stand up to these people who are literally trying to destroy our country, and innocent victims are in the wake of this. So thank you for joining us, Gianno, and thank you for doing something. Too many people talk, not enough people do.
And you know, to our viewers, please go to caldwellinstitute.org. Let's save America together.
Amen to that.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.